Welcome back. Now, this is a conversation I've been looking forward to for quite a bit. We have in the studio someone very interesting. Now, it might interest you to know this young lady called Blessing. Now, Blessing is a chartered accountant. She's also an internal auditor, and she has 9 years of professional experience across various sectors. But we had to have her in the studio because it came to our attention that she goes through an average of 135 books every year, meaning that she reads 135 books minimum every year. Yes, you heard me right. And her interests in reading are varied. She goes from fiction to African literature to history, biographies. We just had to have you come and talk to us in the studio. Welcome.
Thank you. I'm glad to be here.
All right. So, first of all, you do look like a bookworm.
Because of the glasses.
Yes,
right?
the glasses.
Yeah, I know.
But then you're an accountant. You know, accounting is numbers and all that. And then you have a major interest in literature. Why didn't you go down that career path?
Oh, well, the interest in literature is not academic for me. It's,
Okay.
You know, it's what I do to relax.
Okay.
Yeah, so studying literature is not what I'm interested in. Accounting, auditing is, I would say, my calling.
All right.
But I love reading. I love books.
All right, so it's interesting, you know, someone watching now that's probably in the banking sector is wondering, yeah, I never really used to read. That's why I went into, you know, banking, you know, that kind of thing. And reading books for me is one of the joys of my life. I have thousands of books myself. And when I say thousands, I'm actually not joking on the number. But that's me. 135 books. How do you get through them? Is it a challenge to get through all those books?
No, it's not a challenge.
Okay.
I tell people that the same way, you know, you watch a movie, you know, the same way you do certain recreational activities, that's what reading is to me. Now, where I challenge myself is to read non-fiction,
Okay.
you know, and academic books.
Okay.
That's where I say, okay, I have to go the extra mile, you know, to actually go ahead and learn something different, you know, learn something specific, depending on what it is.
Yeah.
You know, but it's reading is not a challenge for me.
All right, so I'm trying to think about this. So in a year, we have 365 days and 135 books. Now, you're the accountant. Can you calculate an average of, okay, one book every what?
Every 2 or 3 days.
2 or 3 days?
Yes.
You finish one book?
Yes.
That's incredible, I have to say.
Yes, I read very fast, actually.
So the question everybody's thinking about now is, so where do you find the time?
You know, you always find time for things you love, but I think majorly there are moments where you can always take time to quickly read a book. You know, you go for lunch, for example. So at lunch, you can knit and read at the same time.
Wow.
You know, just before going to bed, maybe if you have a driver and you can read in traffic, you know, that you go somewhere, you're waiting for someone to attend to you.
Yeah.
So times like that.
I need to pinpoint some of your favorite books and authors now. So I have many favorites, but by hearing your list of favorite authors, maybe I'll know how your mind works as a reader. So could you list your top 5?
Top 5, okay. It's a bit difficult, but okay, let me go with Sidney Sheldon.
Okay.
Say Jeffrey Archer.
All right.
John Grisham. Chimamanda Adichie.
Okay.
Who would I say the 5th person? Let's say Dan Brown.
Dan Brown. Okay, so there were a lot of men in there, except for Chimamanda.
Oh, well, books are not, when I'm reading books, it's not about
calm down.
male
There's
or
a reason
female.
why. There's a reason why I'm pinpointing the fact that they're male authors, because a lot of the female authors, the Nora Roberts, Fern Michaels, who else do we have? Marianne Keyes. We have Sophia Kinsella.
I love Sophia Kinsella.
Sophia Kinsella. All of them, those female. So I was thinking maybe you were relating with those authors and the way they write. But Sidney Sheldon, Dan Brown is kind of a very mysterious guy.
Yeah.
Grisham is all about the law and everything. So I'm trying to figure out you know, what you get from those books. Could you tell me?
Okay, so like you mentioned some female authors. You realize that most of them write more of romance. Yeah, I like romance too, but not so much. I think I like, you know, I like suspense.
Okay.
I like thrillers.
Okay.
So you see that the way those guys I mentioned write, you know, it's always full of suspense, thrilling. You know, those are the kind of books that typically interest me. Yeah.
If I was to compare you to someone who's a movie buff now, I would be comparing you to someone who likes to watch Jason Bourne, you know, or Mission Impossible.
Yeah.
Yeah. So like you are, like you like action movies in books.
Yeah, I suppose.
Am I getting that right?
Yes. Yes.
So do you think you're ever, okay, have you ever had that feeling that you're going to stop reading one day? Did you ever just get tired of it?
No.
Never?
Definitely not.
Never?
No.
All right, so the next question now is going to make me seem like a non-feminist, but are you married?
Yes, I'm married to a wonderful man.
Are you serious?
Yes, and I have 2 beautiful girls.
So wait, so you're married and you have kids and you still have time to read? Ha!
Yes.
I'm inspired. Oh, yeah. I'm officially inspired. Okay, I have to go back to my reading now. But so what's the target for this year, for 2019? How many books do you want to read for 2019?
Okay, so this year I started an MBA program this year.
Okay.
So I know, you know, I still have work, I still have family duties. So I know when it comes to fiction and non-fiction, like the non-academic books, I foresee a drastic reduction in that because I'm going to read more of my MBA books. Yeah. So maybe 50.
All right, 50.
Yes, because
Even
I've read
with your MBA.
Because I've read 10 books already this year.
You've read 10 books in January.
Yes.
I don't like you again. In fact, come and be going. Okay, but really, well done on this. I'm hoping you're learning from these books as well, though.
Oh, yes, definitely. You know, I tell people that, for example, I've not been to the US, but I can tell you some things about the United States because of, you know, so many books I've read. I can tell you some cities, I can tell you what happens, I can tell you where some things are located, I can tell you the culture of certain areas, you know, just because I read. So, you know, when you read, you travel to places you've never been, and reading, you know, you can also imagine what you're reading. So reading is beneficial. You know, it also helps you think better. You know, you have different ideas, you come across different things in books. So definitely you learn a lot from even reading fiction. You learn from it.
So there's a young mom out there watching you right now. What advice would you give her?
Okay, I would say as a mother, you know, you're responsible for bringing up children, you know, and it's a very good opportunity for you to build that reading culture in them. Okay. So you have to start with building that reading culture yourself because they will learn from you, you know, and then also start reading with them. I read too, and with my daughter, even though now she's more interested in pointing out the colors to me. But still, we are reading, you know, so that's how you start.
I have to, at this point, wrap this up, but I have to say a big, big thank you to you for coming to the studio. Keep up the good reading.
Thank you.
And really, you've inspired me. It takes a while before I get floored by something like, wow, 10 books already in January. What next? Okay, so it's been fun having this conversation. Yeah. I'll be watching out for, you know, some ways to improve on my own reading culture as well.